Good evening, otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your dark mask diva. How's everybody's weekend going? Hope everyone is doing just great. So, did everyone see my content about the Bozo in the pharmacy? I don't remember if it was last month or the month before. I think it was just last month because it seems like it was fairly recently. I think so. It must have been fairly recently. Okay, well, so for those of you who missed it, after this you can go check out that content that says the Bozo in the pharmacy. But I'm just going to give you kind of like a brief rundown of what it is. What it is I was in the pharmacy. Okay, and there's no security guard to be found, and I was the next customer in line, and the people in front of me, there was this Bozo in the pharmacy, and he was very drunk, and he was drinking from an open bottle of Jack Daniels, and he was talking a lot of mess to the pharmacy attendant. Okay, and his wife was with him, or his lady friend, whoever, his counterpart, and she was crying and saying, "Why do you always have to do this?" Not, "I can't believe you're doing this." More like, "Why do you always have to do this?" So apparently he's a Bozo for all seasons and he always has to do that. Okay, so she was just crying and coming unglued, and apparently he always has to do that, right? And he was like totally pie-eyed, and he was just he was drunk and drinking from an open container, and he didn't even have a brown paper bag or anything. He was just openly drinking right there in the pharmacy. Nobody seemed to be calling security. Nothing seemed to be happening. There was no security guard, and I was just standing there going. And so I hid behind one of the partitions, and I was texting Sensational Delights going, "Oh no." I didn't want to call him and keep him from going to work or relaxing or anything. I just said, "Hey, look, I'm okay, but I'm just letting you know what's going on right now. I'm in the pharmacy, and there's a situation." He said, "What?" I said, "Well, firstly, there was a Bozo. Secondly, he's very intoxicated. And thirdly, he's becoming very belligerent with the pharmacy staff and all the other men in the pharmacy. He's challenging them to fights and saying, 'What are you going to do about it?' and all this other stuff. And this guy that's near me, he's ready to fight him because the Bozo was really tall. Like, he was a big guy. He wasn't, anything to mess with. But he was really drunk, though. So, I mean, whoever fights him, it's a pretty easy takedown. But at the same time, he was a big, tall guy. So this other guy appears out of nowhere and was trying to comfort the lady. Okay, he's a very important part. And he's comforting the lady, and she's crying and saying, "He always does this." I'm thinking, always does this. Why did you bring him with you? He didn't drive, did he? Why did you bring him in public? Why did you bring this intoxicated man who's like, I swear, it seems like he was 7 feet tall. Now, to me, I think everybody is huge. Like, I'm 5'5", but to me, everybody seems very threatening and menacing, and, somebody who's that drunk, and he's threatening everybody. And the other men in the line wanted to fight him. But it's probably because he was threatening everybody. And, finally, it seems like after an eternity, I hear someone in the pharmacy finally calling security, and I'm thinking, what took you so long? He had to threaten everybody. He had to say, "I'm going to kick your A," and all this other stuff. I'm thinking, so he had to say, "I'm going to kick your A," and talk a bunch of stuff to you and do all this other stuff for you to finally call security. Okay, so he did that. And finally the security guard finally came. The security guard was a woman. She escorted him out. The lady was crying and crying and crying and crying. Well, of course they didn't give him his medication. Why would they give him his medication? Somebody that intoxicated should not be taking any sort of medication. I don't care what it is. I mean, you're that intoxicated, nothing goes with that level, blood, alcohol level. Nothing. So, I don't care what it is. It doesn't go with it, without that kind of alcohol, especially hard alcohol. They weren't going to give him his medicine. So, of course, you're that intoxicated. Nothing you do is going to make sense to you. I mean, so he's not getting his medicine. She's crying. This other guy comes up to comfort her. Ma'am, are you okay? And all this other stuff. Okay, so all of them leave. Everybody's like, I'm hiding behind the partition thing because I'm just afraid. He's, he could trip and fall on me for all I know. I mean, he's huge by comparison to me. Okay. So, anyway, they finally get him out of there. I'm just like, what a relief. I really don't like being around drunk people. I mean, they're out of control. It's not like they have fast reflexes or anything. I mean, it's not like they're so smart. Or it's because they're so dumb. Dumb people are scary. I know you're supposed to be afraid of smart people. No, dumb people. Because they make the worst decisions. And this guy was huge. I mean, I swear he seemed like he was 7 feet tall. But I mean, a lot of people are taller than me. I'm 5'5". I know I'm average, but it just seems like, so many people are taller than me. And this is a man, and he was big and huge, and he was drunk, and he was just talking stuff to everybody. So they finally got him out of there. I had to wait for my meds after all that. I was sitting and waiting for my meds. Honestly, I was just glad the Bozo was gone. But of course, he was making a scene. That's what Bozos do, right? So they got rid of the Bozo, which was the point. Okay. So the lady, I was just feeling bad for her. But at the same time, Sensational said, she's choosing it. Remember, she was saying, why do you always do this? So she stays with this Bozo. Because she's saying, why do you always do these things? So clearly he's done it before, because he always does these things, right? So she chooses to stay with him, and he said, if I had someone like that in my life, I mean, I would have a surprise for him when he got home, like if somebody embarrassed me like that, I would have done something to him by then, He said, you would never stand for that if somebody did that to you. I said, well, he wouldn't be there with me in the first place acting like that, embarrassing me and stuff like that, He goes, yeah, you'd have something for his A, you would do something to him. I'm like, well, yeah, And I'm like, he expects to get his medication acting like that, drunk people, they don't have other faculties. But anyway, no way. He goes, no way would you ever put up with something like that. You wouldn't be in a predicament like that with somebody that crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't put up with an alcoholic. There's absolutely no way. So, just don't ever put up with that. Those people are sick. They need to get help. They need to seek treatment. Okay, don't ever. He was a clear Bozo. So anyway, fast forward to a month from then was today, right? I'm going to say this happened a month ago, so that was today. And I'm in the pharmacy, and I see the lady again. And I was like, oh, it's her, right? She was with the guy that comforted her. So I'm like, good, she got rid of the Bozo, and now she's with the guy that comforted her. So he kind of moved right in. Very smooth, very smooth. So I'm like, okay, well, good for him. Good for her. She's with the dude that comforted her. So she's got a new friend now. She's not with the Bozo anymore. Or maybe that's her new side dude, and Bozo's at home or whatever. Whatever happened, she's not with Bozo anymore. At least he's not with her there. Right, so. Anyway, so she's not with Bozo, and so she's with this new dude, right? So she gets in line. She gets in line and everything like that, and I'm waiting for my meds. I'm just sitting there, and the pharmacist says, can I help the next person in line at window number blah blah blah? So she walks up, And the guy that was standing there at the line, he decides he's not done talking to the pharmacist, so he won't get out of her way when she's next in line. So, I mean, he's a bozo. And so she goes, "Excuse me," she said, "it's my turn with the pharmacist." That guy would not get out of her way. So I'm like, oh, where's her new friend? He needs to ask that guy to move. And then I looked around and went, where's the security guard? What is it with this pharmacy? Like, why did they never have a security guard? I mean, I've needed medication for a really, really long time. I have a condition that I was born with, so I need medication. I'm a heart patient, okay? So I've not been in a pharmacy where this many people have this bad of conduct before. Like, this is like so crazy, right? So I'm just sitting there looking around like, oh, where's her new dude? Where'd he go? Like, did he leave for a minute? Like, what's going on? I mean, the bozo's not there. This is a whole nother new bozo. He's not a big guy, though. He's, like, smaller than she is. So I'm like, okay, well, she could probably take him. I could probably take him, but, like, no woman should, like, have to take him, That's not what I'm trying to say. But I'm just going, whoa, like, where's your new dude? And why is this guy not getting out of her way? And I'm going, what is it with this poor lady? Why does she attract such bozo energy? And is it just at the pharmacy? Why won't he get out of her way? Why does she attract all these bozos? And it's just like, I mean, she seems like a nice lady, and this bozo won't get out of her way, and I'm like, why won't the pharmacist tell him to just go away? Like, he needs to just get out of the cubicle, right? And he's just standing there just like right there crowding her and stuff like that. And I'm like, dang, what is it with people? Like, why is he just standing like right there? Bro, like, what is that? Seriously, I was like, get out of her way. And I'm just wondering where her new friend is. Like, he needs to tell that guy to move. It's like, and the guy's like pretending he doesn't speak English and stuff like that, and I just stopped paying attention to it because I'm like, and I was just like looking around like, where's the security guard? And then I just decided to stop paying attention to the situation because I'm thinking, I really don't want to get caught up in another like bozo thing going on, because I think we all have this special bozo thing. Like, I don't know if this lady just like has attracts people that bug her in the pharmacy. I think she just has like pharmacy situations or something like that. Like, okay, here's like what happens with me when it comes to bozos. Okay, like, I have bozos bugging me in the supermarket. There's a trend of people being sexually harassed in supermarkets. Okay, but like, not every time I go to the supermarket, but almost every time I go to the supermarket, something happens. Like, something really weird happens. Like, people, because there never seems to be security there either. I don't know, are security guards just going on strike? Is there like a union and they're all going on strike or something? Because they just never seem to be around when you need them. I know they must be there somewhere. Like, are they trying to catch people shoplifting, and they're like, when ladies are being harassed, they just kind of like disappear because they never seem to be watching anything that's going on. Because I just get harassed almost every single time I'm there. Like, I'm getting followed by somebody's like blocking my path, and I'm trying to get around him, and they're like, hi, and they keep trying to talk to me, and I'm just trying to get away from them. And I like duck and try to get away. Like, I don't even acknowledge them. Like, and then they try to walk around and meet me in another aisle and say hi to me again, and I'm like just trying to get away from them and stuff like that. I'm wearing a ring, a big ring, and it's just like, I don't want to talk to you. It'd be one thing if I was a single lady or something like that, and I was like, and smiling and stuff like that, and I'm just like, and I give them a dirty look, like, don't talk to me. And I'm just like, and I'm always trying to get away, and they're just like always like staring and bothering me and acting like I should talk to them. No, you are not entitled to talk to me because you find me attractive. Okay? People are not entitled to give you attention because you want them. Especially when they're wearing rings and they're taken. People should be allowed to go do their grocery shopping without having to, submit to your sexual harassment. People should be able to go buy their medicine that they need without you bugging them. I mean, what's wrong with people? But I think everybody has, like, whether you're a guy too. I mean, some guys attract bozo energy too. Like, I'm sure you get, like, you must be a guy who gets, like, Bozette energy. I mean, because I know this isn't just a lady problem. I know guys probably get like bozo energy from other guys and like Bozette energy from women. Like, I'm pretty sure guys get like women flirting with them that they don't want flirting with them. I know this isn't just like a female, like a sexual harassment problem and stuff like that. This isn't like one of those type deals. I know that some guys get like a special kind of weird thing that goes on with them. Because I've talked to different people where they're like, yeah, I always get this like weird situation where somebody sexually harasses me and puts me on the spot, and I feel like so uncomfortable. Like this guy, he goes through like the checkers line, and the lady checker will flirt with him and like check his items out and go, oh, I see you're having a barbecue, can I come over? And he'll go like, and just feel like really uncomfortable, and she'll be like flirting with him and stuff, and he'll be like, oh my god, and like he's a single dad, and he feels like really, really weird, like, why is this lady like pretending to invite herself over to my house? And I'm just like, oh my god, I thought that only happened to women. I didn't know that women like did that stuff to guys too. It's like, yeah, it's really creepy, and she'll like wink at him, and like, I'm like, wow, I get sexually harassed in the store too. And that's usually by like other customers. Sometimes it is by the checkers though. Like there's like certain people's lines I can't go in, and there's just like certain stores, because sometimes it's even the store manager, and I'm like, I totally just like won't go in when I know they're in there. Like when I know it's their shift or whatever, or just like certain branches of the store or whatever, I just won't go in there, because they always ask for your phone number, because you know how you get the discounts because it's your phone number, and it's because they'll have your phone number and they have your email. You're like, no, they just have too much of your information, because oftentimes when they have your phone number, your email, they also have your home address. That's so uncomfortable, so awkward. And then of course they have your name too, so they're all up in your business, and they're like, have a nice day, like Miss Catacombs. I'm like, like, no. They just know too much about you, it's just so like, oh, ew. And so they just know too much about you, and no, or they address you by your first name, and you're just like, oh, and they like, people mispronounce my name. My name is Juliana, and they call me Julianne, and I'm like, ugh, yuck. I just don't want them talking to me at all. Ew. Or they go, can I call you Julie? And I'm like, no, you can't. Just don't call me at all. Yeah, they're just rude. So like, yeah, but some people just get people being like overly friendly to them in the store, or I have this friend who she's she's like me. She likes heavy metal music, and she's like really hip and everything like that. And she's an artist too, and she's a photographer, and she totally attracts nerds. I'm like, why do you attract all these nerds? And she goes, I don't know, but they're all like scientists and nerds and stuff. I'm like, I'm a scientist. And she goes, no, not like you. She goes, they're total nerds. And she goes, they're just dorks. Like, they're socially inept, total nerds. And she goes, and they all like me. And I'm like, wow, bro, I'm sorry. And she goes, yeah, they're like, they're just, she goes, and they're all like socially awkward, and they're weird. And she goes, I just attract all these nerds, and we have these really, like, they ask me out and everything, so I give them a chance. I go, because a lot of these nerds, like, they have money, so maybe you should give them a chance. They might be able to give you a better life. She goes, yeah, I do, but they're like they're socially awkward, and they're weird, and I go out with them, and they're just like just a disappointment all the way around, and they're weird. And she goes, I don't want to be around a bunch of dorky guys. I want to go out with a cool guy. And I'm like, okay, well, I get it. But she goes, but I'm constantly attracting these nerds, and they're just all really super socially awkward. And I'm like, well, I can dig it. You don't want to go out with somebody socially awkward. I don't blame you. But she goes, yeah, I just attract all these nerds. And I'm like, you're not a nerd. She goes, yeah, I'm not a nerd, so why am I attracting all these nerds? I'm like, opposites attract? She goes, yeah, maybe. But, I mean, that's kind of like her cross to bear, My cross to bear is, like, getting all this sexual harassment when I'm trying to shop for food. Weird. Right? So, yeah, but that lady from the pharmacy, Bozo's in the pharmacy, so, I guess it's a pill thing with her, but, yeah, they need a security guard in there, so I wonder if I'm gonna see her next time. I hope she's okay, and, I wish that dude that she was with, I hope he comes in there and has a little talk with that guy who wouldn't leave the cubicle when she was street racing. You hear that? It's Saturday night. Hear that engine revving? Well, I hope she's okay. I hope she got her pills okay, and I hope that one Bozo's out of her life, that's for sure. But I think I'm going to wrap this up before they start revving their engines some more. So you guys have a beautiful evening. I love you all, otherworldlies. Good night.